Welcome, everybody. This is TJ McCormack, world's greatest roofer, community manager for Roofer, here with another speaker spotlight with Jennifer Palmer, the CEO of Palmer Construction. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today and talking a little bit about Rise, but then also talking a little bit about you and your company. We've been doing these lives to showcase our speakers so people can get to know you a little bit better. But tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your company name? What's your role? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you, TJ. Again, my name is Jennifer Palmer. My company name is Palmer Construction. I take on the role as a CEO, but I also I wear every hat here as time is needed.
No doubt. You know what? I think in roofing, especially when I was doing roofing, I think I wore every hat as well. Even though I wasn't the owner, I still felt like it, even being the project manager, because most of the time the homeowners or business owners were calling me if there was a problem. It wasn't necessarily the owner, but not to say that the owner doesn't help put out fires every single day. But tell me a little bit about where you're at in the Pacific Northwest. People don't know a lot about roofers up there. You guys are a different breed all up and down the West Coast. And I'd like to learn a little bit about what type of roofing you guys are doing, what type of finance, your retail model isn't our retail model.
Absolutely. So we are located in Spokane Valley, Washington, which is on the border of Idaho State. It's called the Inland Northwest, and beautiful country. We've got 10 minutes in every single direction, a lake, a river, a mountain. So beautiful. In the roofing industry, I know that you guys are in a lot of the storm belts down there. Yeah. And so it looks a little different here. Yeah. But we do get a ton of wind damage over here.
Sure.
Just this August, we had a major hailstorm, and that was the first time we've seen hail in over 70 years.
Wow. So you guys do have an insurance market up there, but you're just not telling everybody, come storm chasing the rainiest place in the world.
Well, I will say that some of the networks that I am in, that I believe I've met you last year at, there was a couple of people that ended up over here in our area, but the community here is kind of a tight niche, and they don't really appreciate that as much. Yeah. So we kind of have a different model. We're not storm chasers whatsoever. We're solidly foundation right here in the community. So
many storm markets get a bad rap, or new storm markets when a roofer comes to town for the first time, especially in like hurricane zones. Like, everybody is so standoffish with the new guy, right? I grew up in a small town. We called Joe whenever we needed a roof, or we called Bob if we needed a pier, right? But you always knew the guy that was coming out to do your roof, and that's what's different in the storm chase model. You might not know who's going to be there, but typically people will trust just about whoever. But no, tell us a little bit about with work-life balance being such an issue these days. What's your favorite non-roofing thing to do?
Spending time with my family. I am a mother of 6 kids.
Wow, 6.
Yes. And traveling, and really what consumes most of my time is watching my kids play sports. It's one of my favorite things to do. This year, my 13-year-olds played competitive fast pitch, so we did a lot of traveling for that. Yeah. And my 16-year-old's in Germany right now wrestling.
Oh, wow. I think I did see that online.
Yeah. And so super fun. And those are the last 2 that I have left in school. So, and last in September, I'm about to be a grandma. So
grandma.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I remember when Jen Silver became a grandma last year when we were working together. How's that feel to be a grandma? I'm at that age now. I could be a grandpa soon. So
I'm excited. That's the good thing about being a business owner. I'm turning my office right into a nursery. My daughter had to remind me that this isn't my baby, it's hers.
Right. Well, you know what? But at least, she has somebody that can help you out. I live with Karina and our 3 kids, and we don't have anybody here because she's from Paraguay and then I'm from Virginia. So it's hard. At least she's got somebody around there. And you can
Yes.
remind her of that. Grandma Bear is here. Uh,
Yep.
tell me somebody that you look up to and why. It doesn't have to be somebody from the roofing industry. Is there somebody that you look up to for inspiration or just overall?
Yeah. I look up to my mom and dad. They had amazing work ethic that they instilled in me growing up. They're still married after 40 plus years, and they showed me what it's like to never give up, and no matter how hard things get in relationships, marriage, and especially work. They owned the #1 tire and automotive store in Nisqually for 35 plus years. And
Wow.
my husband and I just purchased that last year. So we're
Wow.
trying to, they've really taught us how to not just do life, but, to do business as well.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, like growing up in a small town, or not in your area, but in a small town, like we had that one guy for the tires as well, had a beautiful shop, and but we always went there for all of our automotive needs. And still, my mom still says, I got to call him now to come over and pick up the car. I was like, Ma, he's been doing your car for like 35 years, and she's like, Yep, he's still doing a good job. So that's great to hear. And you know what? You're the first person to say mom and dad as somebody that you look up to, that's inspirational in and of itself.
My dad was also like a father to my husband. My husband started working for my dad at age 14.
Wow.
And so, my husband's also somebody I look up to, and I don't want to leave him out. He really is a lot like my dad with some serious work ethic. I remember times that he was working out in like negative 40-degree weather and just making sure that, we're taken care of. So that's not everyone has that these days. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you got to have somebody strong beside you, especially as a partnership, right?
Right.
But, do you read any books?
I do.
Yeah. What was the last one that you read that maybe somebody could use in their library?
So I'm reading it again right now. I've read it once before. The 21 Refutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell.
Oh, yeah.
I always suggest it for people because it's a really easy read.
Yeah.
And especially in somebody in our industry, just entrepreneurship in general, leadership is really important. Inspiring leadership is the driving force behind a thriving company, right? People don't leave companies, they leave poor leadership. So one of our core values is willingness to learn and grow. And as a leader, I have to do that. I want to be the best leader I can. So it's a great book for everybody, and it's a really easy read.
Yeah, John Maxwell, he's got a lot of amazing points. I've gotten to meet him a couple of times at RoofCon, and he's a great older guy. Definitely look up to those guys that are actually sitting down to write those books, because I wish that I had the time to actually write a book, because I think I could probably have at least 40 chapters by now.
Of all of our life examples.
Right. Like I could just go back and start at 1997. but no, it's great to hear. What kind of marketing are you guys doing in your business, and how much of your marketing is organic social media?
Well, I think that we don't realize how much is organic social media because, like we just kind of discussed earlier, everybody's kind of watching you. They want to do business with people they love, like, and trust, right?
Yep.
So your life is showcased.
Yeah, somebody just said the world's greatest roofer, so there you go.
Right. We just now are getting into like linking all our personal social medias with our business social media. Marketing, we're in the community. We are going to network events. We're here in Spokane, it's just a really big community. So right now we're trying to get involved with some ministries here that are for supporting sex trafficking, and the really getting involved in your community and networking that way and letting everybody know what you do, that word of mouth is huge. And then your social media just 100% just backs that up, because then people see that who you are and that you're real and what you're doing. So
yeah, it's organic social media has taken over the world, or what we were talking about earlier before we came on the live with the short form videos, where people can consider you inspirational and you never even heard from them or met them in your life, and they're telling you their life story just because of something they saw you produce, or even willing to buy a roof from you now without even ever really shaking your hand or getting to know you. It's
absolutely.
So I actually have a question that just popped up here from somebody watching. Hello, Jason Martin. And he says, what's your company's largest obstacle?
Our largest obstacle is people.
Yeah.
Trying
to find people, or people working for you?
Working for us. And so I think that's from talking with some other business owners here in the area, and I think that's kind of everywhere, that people are just really a struggle right now. Whether we want to, admit it or not, COVID was a huge impact on everybody's business, and I don't think we've all fully recovered from it.
I'm not quite sure we'll ever fully recover back to pre-2020. It's hard to say, and if it is, like, we're going back, but even still, like, going forward, it seems like we've missed a couple of years.
Yeah, we definitely have. And so, I mean, that kind of goes into, we're big advocates on, we offer more than just a job, right? We completely instill into our people a well-rounded growth of spiritually, financially, physically, helping people grow in every area of their life, because we have to offer more than just a job now. And we want people to grow as individuals, so that way all of the rest, they'll do a good job here and they'll maybe stay.
Are you guys doing W-2 or 1099, or are you employees
or
subcontractors?
We both. And so our crews are individually owned, they're subcontractors.
Sure.
We used to have in-house crews that were W-2 employees. We found that using subcontractors, and I know that it's for the community and for the customers, they look at that as, whoa, gosh, they're not your employees, but actually, because they have stake in the game now too, that is their company. And so therefore they do a fantastic job. They have stake in it. Their name is on the line as well. So
just because I used to say that just because I'm 1099 doesn't mean I'm loyal, right? Especially if I'm trying to sell my soul, or sell my brand to other people. They see what I'm wearing on my chest as my company and who I'm representing. And even if I make a mistake, I'm still going to go back to whoever it was that I was working for and ask for help. Somebody just said, why do you think people don't want to work? If it's not money, then what is it that you're doing to get their attention on your company? So many people that I talk to, not just yourself, Jennifer, are telling me that they're struggling to find great people to come work for
them. I think you just have to it goes back to organic social media too, right? Yeah. We're just plugging into that network. And I think where you're marketing to the mass communities is like on Indeed and in these other areas. People aren't just flocking anymore to just a job posting, right? They see, I don't know, we have a bunch of TikToks on our, that our office staff do. They want a good, fun place to work. That's just not a job, right? Yeah. A family to join, a place that has fun on the same aspect. And so I definitely think organic social media and networking goes to even finding jobs at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you guys, I'm sorry, are you finding it harder to make sales with the economy right now, or is it been pretty easy? A lot of people are telling me a little bit of both. So,
Um, I don't know. I haven't seen a major impact, and it's because, our model here is, I want to say 70% insurance, 30% retail. And so insurance money isn't going away.
right.
The wind storms and insurance damage is not going away just because of the economy. So I definitely think I haven't seen a major impact yet. And I'm going to stand firm in my affirmations that we're not going to see an impact.
Right. Let me ask you this. I don't know much about the insurance market up there in the Pacific Northwest, but are you guys finding it easy to work with insurance carriers? Are you having the same struggles that everybody else is in regular storm markets like Denver, Texas, Florida?
Yeah, we have the same struggles as everybody else.
Yeah.
We, I just was dealing, like, to give you an example, just today, I had an insurance company that was stating our governing entity that the city inspector's not enforcing certain codes. So therefore they're not going to approve them and we don't have to follow them. Well, that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
We operate with integrity and we're going to do what's right every single time, regardless of what an insurance company is telling us to do.
Do you guys have a lot of building codes per area up there, or you guys just on the IIRC?
Most of it follows the IRC and the IBC, but we are a little different than the storm markets. And for one roofing project, we have 3 inspections.
Oh yeah.
So I know that I've spoken to a couple of friends that are in like the Texas market and they don't have that. So
no, they don't even have to pull a permit.
Right. And so we had another roofing company here in the area that was actually blasted for that and on the actual national news, the local news here. So for not pulling permits or pulling permits and not getting the inspections done.
Yeah. We have a pre, a mid, and a post inspection on commercial here in Colorado. But typically we don't have an inspection on residential till post after the roof is built.
We have ice and water, deck, and final. And they make sure we have drip edge. They make sure we have venting, ice and water. It's particular.
Yeah, we in Florida. I'm not saying we. I say we because I hope to move to Florida real soon. But Florida is the same way right now. They're definitely struggling with the inspections, the permitting process, just getting the job start to complete done, which is the struggle with most of the companies that are there. If you don't have cash flow, then you're not surviving because you're having to wait 6 months in order to get your roof get to the next point so that you can get the roof on. How are you educating your team? What are you guys doing for education purposes?
So we do quite a bit actually. So we have weekly meetings. Like I said before, we're really big on growing the individual person. And just in March, we took our whole entire team to win the storm.
Oh, yeah.
I will take them to individual conferences. I'm taking everybody to Rise up in Seattle this month. My leadership team is going through the 21 refutable laws of leadership. We're just consistently feeding them. We're at work more than we are at home. So our work staff is our family. And so we want to make sure that they are, essentially whole in every area of their life.
Well, remind me before we get off this call to talk to you about your team coming and how I can help with that. But I want to remind myself not to forget that. But yeah, it's great. I was always a big proponent of making sure that I went to all of the different trade shows as well. I think trade shows are changing, hopefully for the better. so that more people are getting a great educational experience, making sure that the vendors are promoting what they're selling the best way possible. But you put a lot of investment into your team when you bring them to those types of events. And
Absolutely.
I'm really big on making sure that people are getting educated properly while they're at them, instead of it just being a party, right? But
Yes.
yeah, it means a lot to me if I pay $1,000, $1,500 a ticket, that I take at least $1,000, $1,500 worth of a ticket back with me, instead of a hangover. But name one piece of technology that you guys have been implementing into your roofing company, and are you planning on implementing anything new coming soon?
Um, well, I just got off the phone with Ink, thanks to your
Oh yeah.
introduction. Um,
Ryan
the
Holiday and Ken Lawler are the greatest friends you could have. I promise you. And if you're a roofer out there and you haven't got to meet the guys over at Inc., I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor. Because Square Dash is great, Good Leap is great, but my friends over at Inc., they truly try to kill it for every roofer they work with.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah,
So I really appreciate it. And some of the things we've implemented in the last year is, we went 100% digital,
yeah,
uh, digital contracts, digital payments, texting within our CRM, even down to digital pre-inspections and digital QC inspections. Um, Everyone is working from their phones nowadays. And
yeah.
so we have to innovate in this world of technology to make sure we're offering the best and easiest solutions for our customers, the company, and our employees. So,
Yeah. Somebody just asked a great question. Jennifer Clements is one of my friends. She asked, "What women do you have speaking at Rise?" We have the great Jennifer Palmer here, who's speaking in Seattle. We have Amanda Fields, the director of Roofing Contractors Association of Washington. We've had Crystal Watterson, Elizabeth Calzadilla. We've had so many great women on stage this year. Silveria Garcia. Sorry, I don't mean to miss Sil. She was great down at Houston. So we definitely have. I wanted to make sure that we had just as many women, men, minorities up on stage, because we couldn't do it without everybody in this industry. And you know what? What better than to have a woman business owner, a woman roofing company business owner up on stage, right? So, what?
and if you guys have not heard Liz, like, she is fantastic.
Yeah.
She is a friend of mine personally,
Yep.
and she's been a great her businesses have been a great addition to our business as well. So
Her business exploded the same year my business started, which was in 2020, back during COVID. I met Liz for the first time. David Summerly, he's like, "Hey TJ, we got to go to this event." We were at Grant Cardone's 10X, right?
oh yeah.
And he's like, "We got to go meet this person named Liz Calzadilla in this little bar." And so we went down to this little mini bar inside of a casino, and I met Liz for the first time, and I was blown away. I didn't know that at the time she was so young.
I know.
And she still is, but 3 years ago, it doesn't seem like she's grown tremendously in that amount of time. So if you guys are looking forward to a great speaker at this event, it's definitely Liz. But you know what? I can't say enough about her. She's been a friend of mine ever since that day.
Right.
But tell me a little bit about what you think about technology and how it's changed the roofing industry and how you do business.
For us, it enables to obviously streamline the process, to make things easier on our customers.
Sure.
We don't have to go back out to properties over and over again. We can literally text a customer and right from our computer, send contracts, sign digitally, collect payment right over that. So we do a lot of two-person touch,
Yeah.
because I strongly am against same-day close unless they just are really our customers are very eager just to I'm a same day close person like myself. Like if
Yeah.
you come to my house, you better be prepared to close me right then and there,
Right.
collect a check and let me sign a contract. But not everybody's that way.
Sure.
And so I believe it gives us the opportunity to not have to do that, because now I can follow up with you from the office and do all the same things. I signed contracts with one of my customers was um gosh, she worked out of country, and I was in a hotel somewhere. She was overseas and she had a rental property, signed contracts digitally. That makes things life
Yeah.
easy on everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
I pissed a couple of roofing company owners off in my time as well. I'm not the one call close kind of person, and I'll be the first to say that when I go to a house or a business, I tell the business owner, the homeowner, that we're not going to sign a contract until I
right.
have the numbers in front of me and know exactly how much they're going to be charged in order to sign that contract. That's also different from a retail game, right? But I always wanted to make sure that I knew and the homeowner knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. And then that also built trust that I was going to show up for the insurance adjuster meeting. I was going to show up when I told them I was going to be there to get measurements or pick colors and do all of the things that are needed prior to a job getting started. But that also builds a great relationship. And I feel the same way. I don't like contingency agreements on a first call because, those people, they don't trust you yet and they really don't know you yet. So good
No,
call on the 2 call touch.
absolutely. I think it's very important. Another area that digital has worked for us is, like I said, I'm going to be a grandma. My daughter works for us. She's in sales. And so as she started to show and didn't necessarily want to get up on the roof, I mean, we had drones up there doing the inspection for us, digital measurements. All the world has innovated 100%, made our job way easier.
Yeah, no doubt. It definitely has changed a lot over the past few years. Um, you know what? To close on your end, Jennifer, to give us one piece of advice or a word of wisdom that you can share with aspiring roofing contractors, owners, or salespeople who might one day want to build an empire.
Um, I would say set your core values, live and breathe by them, hire and fire off of them. Um, Set your goals of what you want your company to look like at your sale date. So, not saying go sell your company, but have a goal in mind. Like, I want this company to be a $10 million company. Okay, perfect. What does that look like?
Yep.
Dissect it backwards, label out your organizational chart, each role responsibilities, processes, and KPIs. Build it up front, because a lot of people go into this industry just going, I'm just going to go run a business and I'm going to make money and I'm going to collect it. If you do not have a goal and plan and set your core values so everybody knows who you are and how you operate, it's hard to grow and have your team represent who you are.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's truly a great statement to close it out here. Let me just go over a little bit about what's happening next week. Tomorrow I'm flying to Orlando for the Florida Roofing and Sheet Metal Conference. So if you're in Florida the next few days, say hello to me. But thank you to our sponsors for Rise, ABC, Goodleap, Inc., Square Dash, Business 411, Company Cam, Lead Scout, Rilla, Coastal Claims, World's Greatest Roofer, Signs Global, and then last but not least, certainly not least, is RoofCon. They just became a sponsor this past week, so I'm excited that they've joined us on this journey. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you see get your tickets at roofer.com/rise, RISE. And, we'll look forward to seeing you guys in Carlsbad on Tuesday, Carlsbad, California. And then my first time in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle on Thursday. I'm looking forward to getting to see some of those Goonie views. That's what I call them out there. But when I was in the Navy, I had an opportunity to choose between Norfolk, Seattle, and then also Guam. And I chose the horrible place of Norfolk instead of going to Guam or to Seattle. So I'm sad I didn't get to get out there back in those days. But thank you guys for joining us today. We went a little bit longer than we normally do, but it was a great conversation. We'll look forward to seeing Jennifer on stage next Thursday in Seattle. Thank you guys so much. Jennifer, hold on one second. I'm going to end the broadcast and then we'll have a conversation.
Perfect. Thank you.